By the end of this video, you'll know how to validate your idea with zero cost, build an MVP in hours, and hit $10,000 MRR in 90 days. The SaaS market is set to reach $307 billion by 2026, but 90% of startups fail for lack of demand. You can't afford to guess your way through this opportunity. You'll discover the 4 no-code platforms that have powered SaaS MVPs to capture this massive market growth. We'll cover the customer acquisition strategies that separate winners from wannabes, plus the pricing models that maximize profit. I'm also giving you a free SaaS launch checklist that breaks down every step into actionable tasks. But first, we need to address the critical mistake that kills most software businesses before they even launch. The hidden problem. Most people never solve. Most aspiring entrepreneurs start building before they know if anyone actually wants what they're making. It's the classic mistake that kills 90% of software startups before they even launch. You spend months coding the perfect feature set, designing beautiful interfaces and solving technical challenges that make you feel like a genius. Then you launch to crickets. 0 customers. No one cares. Consider this reality check from Bi-Coastal UX Research. 64% of users abandon sign-up processes because they're too complicated or unclear. This means even when people want your solution, poor validation of basic features like authentication can kill your conversion before you get started. Most founders never test these fundamental assumptions with real users. This happens because we assume our own frustrations represent universal pain points. You hate your current email client, so you build a better one. You wish spreadsheets had more features, so you create the ultimate data tool. But your personal annoyances don't automatically translate into problems thousands of people will pay monthly subscriptions to solve. Let's contrast this with successful founders who take a completely different approach. Mark Liu, who built ShipFast, spent 3 weeks asking developers about their biggest pain points before writing any code. He discovered that most indie hackers waste weeks setting up the same basic SaaS infrastructure: authentication, payments, email systems. So he created a boilerplate that saves developers dozens of hours. He validated the problem first, then built the solution. Here's what smart founders do differently. They start with research in communities like indie hackers and product hunt forums, spending hours reading complaints and frustrations. They look for the same problems mentioned repeatedly across different threads. When someone posts, "I hate how long it takes to do X," and gets dozens of upvotes and comments agreeing, that's validation gold. The pre-sell method provides the strongest validation signal. Create a simple landing page explaining your solution and ask people to pay upfront for early access. If strangers will give you money before your product exists, you've found a real problem worth solving. Dropbox mastered this approach with their explainer video that generated 75,000 sign-up emails before they built the actual product. ConvertKit collected $24,000 in pre-orders before building their email marketing platform. You need to identify pain points that justify recurring payments, not one-time purchases. Ask yourself, is this problem ongoing? Does it happen frequently? Will solving it save time or make money every month? A tool that helps with annual tax filing might be valuable, but people won't pay monthly for it. A tool that automates daily social media posting? That's subscription worthy. The validation framework that consistently predicts success involves 3 tests. First, the frequency test. Does this problem occur regularly? Second, the urgency test. Are people actively searching for solutions right now? Third, the payment test. Will people pay monthly to avoid this pain, or just deal with it? This problem-first validation system lets you know within 30 days if your SaaS idea will make money. You'll have real conversations with potential customers, concrete evidence of demand, and sometimes even pre-orders before you build anything. Once you've proven people want your solution, you face the next challenge: actually building it without technical expertise or massive budgets. Building your money machine without code. The no-code revolution has made sophisticated software accessible to complete beginners who are now building profitable SaaS businesses without touching a single line of code. For decades, you needed to master programming languages, databases, and server management to create software. That barrier kept millions of great ideas from ever becoming reality. Let's explore what's actually possible with today's top no-code platforms. Bubble lets you build complex web applications with visual programming. You drag and drop elements, set up workflows, and connect to databases without writing code. People have built everything from project management tools to marketplace platforms that process thousands of transactions monthly. Softa takes a different approach. It connects to your existing data in Airtable or Google Sheets and turns it into a professional web application. You can create customer portals, internal tools, or even full SaaS products in hours instead of months. Glide transforms spreadsheets into mobile apps with professional interfaces, while Retool focuses on internal tools and dashboards, perfect for building admin panels and business intelligence platforms. Here's what we know about real success stories. A founder built a customer feedback management tool using Bubble that reached $15,000 monthly recurring revenue within 8 months. Another entrepreneur created a social media scheduling platform with Softa and Airtable that generated $8,000 per month by month 6. These aren't isolated cases, they represent a growing trend of non-technical founders building profitable software businesses. The key concept here is the MVP, your minimum viable product. Instead of trying to build the next Facebook with hundreds of features, you focus on solving one painful problem extremely well. Your MVP needs 4 essential components based on successful SaaS launches. First, passwordless authentication that eliminates sign-up friction. Research shows 64% of users abandon complex sign-up processes. Second, strategic user onboarding that guides new users to their first success. Third, flexible subscription management that handles payments and billing automatically. Fourth, intelligent notification systems that keep users engaged without overwhelming them. The Moscow method helps prioritize features, must have, should have, and could have. Authentication is a must. While advanced analytics might be a could, your MVP should only include the must-have features that directly solve your validated problem. Sometimes you'll need to hire developers for complex integrations or custom functionality. Platforms like Upwork and TopTal help you find developers cost-effectively. The key is being specific about what you need and starting with small projects to test their skills. Here's your exact step-by-step process for building in 30 days. Week 1 involves mapping out your user flow and designing your interface using tools like Figma. Week 2 focuses on building your core functionality in your chosen no-code platform. Week 3 covers setting up authentication, payments, and basic user management. Week 4 is for testing, fixing bugs, and preparing for launch. It's fascinating to think about how accessible software creation has become. What once required computer science degrees and years of experience can now be accomplished by anyone willing to learn these visual tools and follow a systematic approach. But here's where most founders hit their biggest roadblock: they build incredible products that sit empty because nobody knows they exist. The customer acquisition system that actually works. Getting customers requires understanding that subscription businesses work differently than one-time purchases. Most founders waste months on strategies designed for physical products or services. They create fancy brochures, run generic social media campaigns, and wonder why nobody signs up for monthly subscriptions. The psychology of recurring payments requires a completely different approach. Let's explore the build-in public strategy that successful indie hackers use to generate demand before their product is even finished. This approach involves sharing your entire development journey openly, the challenges, the victories, the daily progress updates. When you build in public, potential customers become invested in your story. They watch your product evolve and feel connected to its success. Ryan Hoover demonstrated this perfectly with LinkedIn, his simple MVP for link sharing that attracted over 170 users in just 2 weeks. He added startup friends, used PR and social media promotion, and this 20-minute prototype eventually evolved into Product Hunt itself. Here's what we know about specific platforms and tactics for organic growth. Product Hunt launches can provide significant visibility boosts when executed properly. Use Product Hunt launches combined with a 30-day Twitter thread strategy. Kevin Systrom shared UI mockups and development progress, generating 5,000 waitlist signups before Instagram's official launch. Twitter engagement works through consistent sharing of insights, responding to conversations in your niche, and building relationships with potential customers. LinkedIn outreach involves connecting with decision makers in your target market and providing value before pitching your solution. Viral growth mechanisms work because they align customer incentives with your growth goals. Referral programs incentivize existing users to bring in new customers by offering rewards or discounts. Buffer mastered this approach by creating a landing page that pre-sold their product concept, then leveraged those early signups to build referral momentum before the product existed. Waitlists create anticipation and exclusivity. People want what they can't immediately have. Freemium models offer basic functionality for free, encouraging users to upgrade when they need advanced features. Identifying your ideal customer segments using free tools starts with creating detailed customer personas. You need to understand their pain points, daily workflows, and decision-making processes. Reddit communities, industry forums, and social media groups provide direct access to conversations happening in your target market. You can observe what problems people discuss most frequently and how they currently solve them. What if the secret to effective content creation lies in addressing specific customer pain points before selling anything? Your content framework should focus on providing valuable information that helps potential customers solve problems related to your niche. Write detailed guides, share case studies, and explain complex concepts in simple terms. This approach builds trust and establishes you as an authority in your field. This complete customer acquisition playbook can get you from 0 to 100 paying customers without spending money on ads. You start by building in public and sharing your journey. You create valuable content that attracts your target audience. You engage actively on platforms where your customers spend time. You implement viral growth mechanisms that encourage sharing. You focus on organic relationship building rather than paid promotion. But none of this matters if you don't have a proven system to follow from start to finish. The opportunity to build a profitable SaaS business has never been more accessible or lucrative. SaaS represents a $720 billion market by 2028, growing at 25.9% annually, but success requires following proven methods rather than guessing your way through the process. You now have the complete framework that separates successful SaaS founders from those who fail. You know how to validate ideas without spending money, build MVPs using no-code tools, and acquire customers through organic strategies that actually work. The question isn't whether this approach works, it's whether you'll take action on it. Ready to validate your idea in 30 days? Grab the free SaaS launch checklist that entrepreneurs are calling life-changing. Subscribe for more step-by-step guides that turn these strategies into your profitable reality.